So this is about the time where I take the car for a test drive and tell you about how I got it. But since this car is undrivable, I'll just sit here and talk to you. So this is an interesting one. It all goes back to about 2 years ago. I saw a car just like this one on Craigslist in South Jersey, and it was like $2,000 or best offer, it said. So it was a pretty clean looking car. I gave the guy a call. He said that it had been garaged for a long time, hadn't been used, and that he'd done a little bit of work to it to get it, roadworthy, and that it was fine. So I went down. I was scheduled to go down there and go look at it. It was about an hour and a half drive. He was down in South Jersey, and I got about 40 minutes into the trip, and I got a call from him, and he said that he went over to his father's house where the car was stored, and it wouldn't start. I said, oh, well, I'm already almost halfway into the trip. If I came down and took a look at it, would you be interested if I made you, an as-is offer, right there? And he goes, well, no, he goes, I'm selling for my father, and, he really doesn't want to take less than $2,000 for this car, so I'd rather just, get the car fixed up and, then put back on Craigslist. And I said, I thought it was $2,000 or best offer. You're firm on $2,000? He goes, I didn't realize. I didn't take the or best offer out of the posting. That was from back when it was $3,000 or $2,500 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, no. No 86 Buick LeSabre sedan is worth anywhere near $2,500 or $3,000 or even $2,000, honestly. And, this is not a desirable car. I'm just a weirdo. Anyway, so that was that. A couple weeks ago on Craigslist, I see this car, come up on Craigslist. And it's also in South Jersey, different area. Guy's asking, I forget what it was, over $2,000, I think it was $2,200 or something like that. And again, not what I want to spend on this car. I don't think it's worth that. But I kept an eye on that posting, and a couple weeks went, just to see if it'd go down. A couple weeks went by, and all of a sudden it drops to $400. And now he says that it's not running right. There's a loud knocking coming from the engine. He thought the timing chain had jumped a tooth or something. These motors have a nylon teeth on the cam gear, so it's very possible that something like that could have happened. So for $400 and as clean a car as it was, I went down there to take a look. And I asked the guy, I said, how long have you had this car? And he goes, about a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I said, did you buy this from a guy like somewhere in this general area who the car was off the road and in a garage for a long time? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, the car was the guy told me the car was in storage for in a garage for 15 years or something like that in a house his father bought. I'm like, this is the car. This is the car I tried to buy a year and a half or 2 years ago or whatever it was. So, of course, I took a look at the oil, the dipstick, and I'm like, yeah, there's metal in here. But for $400, I figured the engine was probably screwed. I checked the harmonic, or went to check the harmonic balancer. Somebody put the wrong pulley on this motor. It's just a plain metal pulley. You shouldn't have that. Could have contributed to some of the problems, but who knows. Anyway, so yeah, 2.5 years later, or 1.5 or 2 years later, I got the car I missed out on that first time from that first guy. So, and this guy who got it, he did a bunch of stuff. Of course, I guess, he replaced a brake line, a fuel line, a bunch of other stuff. And I think the guy before him had put the new tires on here, so it's got fairly new tires. So how about that? And here's something else that's interesting. I looked up the dealer plate on the back of this car, a little dealer tag, and it's from a dealer up near Buffalo, New York. Now, many years ago, I want to say maybe 2004, I was up in western New York, somewhere maybe about 100 miles east of Buffalo, and at a gas station on a local, little 2-lane highway, I saw a brown 1986 Buick LeSabre custom sedan filling up. And that was the first time I realized that the 86 had a different front grille and had sealed beam headlights. I'd never noticed that before, and that's when I first said, wow, the 86, I like the look of that. So that's when I kind of started just keeping my eye out for 86 LeSabre sedans. So it would be funny if that was that car. I don't know that it was, but I don't know. They sold about half as many 86 LeSabre custom sedans as they did 1987 LeSabre custom sedans. So it's possible. It'd be funny if it was. But that's the story of my new, broken 86 Buick LeSabre custom sedan.